All right, welcome back here. It is Saturday, May 11th, 2024. Today's project, not a whole lot, just some clean work. Last weekend we got the exhaust on the car, got it running, not quite driving. It does idle a little bit high. It needs some fine tuning, so we got to work on getting that done. It's idling around between 800 and 900. I would like it more between 550 and 600, like my truck. So some minor adjustments in the settings, and that should be fixed, and should be ready to drive down the street for a test drive at least. In the meantime, before we get all that done, I was gonna replumb these pumps. So if you guys watched the previous video, I had these plumbed with a 180 coming around like that. And you know, I sat here and looked at them for a couple months, and I changed my mind. So what I did was I ordered these elbow swivels. This is Boss Fitting SAE with an O-ring. So what I'm going to do now is basically just bend a 90. Boom. Real simple. The easiest bend you can make. The reason why I changed my mind is because now I have this flare tool, this rigid, which you guys saw when we did the 68. You can get a lot tighter of a flare on a 90 on a bend, so it's able to flare this, whereas my Imperial 400 wouldn't. That's why I had to do the 180. So I bought these fittings, which are stupid expensive on eBay, rip off if you ask me, mainly because of the shipping, the way the guy does the shipping. This guy, I mean, these fittings are like $12 each, $5 to ship. If you buy 3, it's 3 times $5 to ship, and they come in the same package, which is a ripoff. But nonetheless, I needed them, so I bought them. So what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna clock the dump out a little bit with the way we're gonna do the rack. Clock the dump out a little bit, bring the slow down back, have a little bit more gap in here, and then just bend to 90. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna tape up this tank so we don't chip any paint or anything like that when we crack all these fittings loose. So let me get this thing situated, and I'll bring you guys back. All right, so all 4 return lines are done. Real simple, 90 degrees. I decided to go ahead and float the accumulators because I had the fittings and I had the tubing. Also, I don't know, I think this looks better. They were right here, just kind of looked like a really long missile. Now it kind of fills a space. I don't know if I'm going to put it like this or sideways in the car. I don't know. I think we're going to do this and do the outside ones higher up and further back or more forward. I'm not sure. But the pressures going out should be pretty simple because they're all coming out straight. Once it's all bolted down and the rack is done, I can clock these slowdowns a little bit. They're kind of a little bit cockeyed. They look straight on that jig, but that jig is crooked. So they all need a little bit of clocking. I had to clock the dumps out, so those are going to stay, but the slowdowns can line up. Not worry about that. Anyways, what I'm gonna do now is take these lines off and run them across the buffer and shine them up, since this is going to be the final design. So let me get the buffer set up outside and I'll bring you guys back on that. Alright, so the lines are polished, everything is in place. This 304 stainless tubing punctures up pretty easy. You could sand it if you wanted it to get better, but it's good enough. So hope you guys enjoy this update. I think next we'll be test driving the car and then building the rack for these things. So I'll bring you guys back next weekend. So stay tuned.